Hi everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late. So sorry. Give me a second. Uh, okay. So we are going to be discussing the situation with Chick-Fil-A, this post I posted not too long ago. And earlier this morning, I should say. And while a lot of people thought that it was fake, now this is my thing. I don't know if it's fake and or if it's real, but the principle behind it still stands, if that makes sense. And so there was a lot of back and forth today on about this the subject about Chick-fil-A giving money to this organization in Uganda that is now killing people for being gay, and it's just so much. And it's like, if you go to Chick-fil-A, this is what you're doing. Now, the way that I see this, we all know, hold on, having a hot flash. Now, we all know that Chick-fil-A is a Christian company. They've made it clear, they do give monies to certain anti-LGBT organizations. And for some of us, we still support them. And then some of us, we don't. We actually stop eating there altogether. And so I just wanted to see if Donovan was on. Let me see. Yes. Donovan, do you by chance happen to have headphones for this conversation, so that way we can go ahead and get your input about this? Because while I understood, while a lot of people, is it me or is it video frozen? Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can add you, and maybe that'll help. I'm adding you, Donovan. So while it's adding, I'm gonna let it do what it's gonna do. Um, I think we have to be very careful. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think we have to be extremely careful about, first thing, what we put up, of course, and then also the conversation in the context that is being used. Because a lot of times, what I am discovering is that I could put something up on my page and it starts this conversation, and the conversation is always steered or geared toward whether it's factual or fictional. Now, my take on the whole situation is, I don't eat at Chick-fil-A anymore. First of all, because I'm not going to be going to an organization or a company that gives millions of dollars a year, that gives money to anti-LGBT groups. It's just impossible. It's like, you can't call yourself an advocate for what's right if this is something that you stand on. Now, however, on the other side of that coin, I do understand people have the choice and the right to make the decisions to do whatever they want to do. By all means, do whatever you feel like you want to do, long as your conscience is clear. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. And so I had a conversation with Donovan earlier today, and I said, I just wonder if what would Marsha P. Johnson and Silva Rivera say if they were to see how a lot of our allies, or our advocates in the trans community, or the LGBT community. I wonder what their words and their verbiage would be to these people that still support and will continue to support um, a company and an organization when some a company organization that gives to anti-LGBT groups. Now, like I said before, people, we're human, we're grown. You're going to make your own decisions. You're going to do whatever you want to do. But you cannot get upset or you cannot get mad when somebody wants to call you out on your BS and call you out so that you can answer to the fact that you are in a position to know right from wrong, which we all should be old enough to know what's the right thing and what's the wrong thing. If we don't, then we still have some learning and growing to do. But however, what I will say is this, is that if you are serious about the work that you do in our community, then you are held to a certain standard, and you are accountable for everything that you do, everything that you say. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you are, I don't care. If you are out here on the front lines and you are still supporting an organization such as Chick-fil-A, and I'm speaking bad about Chick-fil-A because they have wonderful food, because before I knew about the ins and outs of what they did, I was eating there faithfully. But when you are aware and you come into the knowledge of something, you make the conscious decision, keyword conscious decision, to do the right thing, or you can keep doing what you're doing and be part of the problem. Now, hypothetically speaking, if this post was real, because like I said, I don't know if it's real or if it's fake, because some people say it's bullcrap, but it's like a lot of times things get put out and people say it's fake, and then oops, a few weeks later, there it's on the news or something else has popped up about it. So this would be my thing. Hypothetically speaking, if Chick-fil-A was giving monies to this organization that is murdering gay people in Uganda, what does that say about you purchasing their food? You're actually funding these people's organization in Uganda to kill them. Now that's the issue. It's like, how can you quote unquote live with yourself and with Chick-fil-A quote unquote being a Christian organization? This is my situation. You're supposed to be going by what the Bible says. The Bible says thou shalt not kill. So what you're doing is you are murdering people that you've never met when you go to Chick-fil-A. That's what you're doing. And what do you say to yourself when there's blood on your hands of a person you've never met? What do you say to yourself? And like I said, hypothetically speaking, I mean, there are several incidents that have taken place that CFA. Yes, right. So before we really start giving people passes and giving these organizations passes, we really need to do our investigation and really understand and know the purpose and the reason behind it. Now, you could say, and people have said this, I know I would be curious to hear the logic too. People can say this all day. Well, I just eat there and the food is good and it's wonderful and this and that and the third. Okay, that's fine. But you've consciously come into the awareness of what they're doing, and they're given to anti-LGBT organizations, and you may have somebody who identifies as LGBTQ in your family, in your workplace, and you see how difficult it is for them to even just exist, and you continue to support an organization such as Chick-fil-A. I think that's a major concern, and I think that you should, this is my opinion, it doesn't mean anything outside my house, because like I always said, this is a free space for people to say, think, and feel whatever they want to feel, because it's your opinion. Um, I think those people should be ashamed of themselves, especially if they're aware of what's going on and you know what they're doing. It's like you can't call yourself a Christian organization, but you only want to abide by certain things. And I really understand a lot of times that as Christians, that's what they do. And that's why I've shied away from Christianity, because there's no place for it. There's no place for um there's no there's no room for error in Christianity. If you make one wrong turn or you say one wrong thing, then fire, brimstone, and the stones are coming to your head and they're gonna bust your head wide open. Now, this is like I said, that's just my opinion with Christianity. I'm an omniist, so I believe there's truth in our religions, not just one. And I feel as if we are going to move forward as humanity, not society, as humanity first, if we're going to move forward in doing that, then we need to understand the purpose and the reason why Jesus came. And he came to love and accept everybody. Everybody may not love and accept him, but he did. And that's just my opinion. Now, you can't work for an organization and think that it's okay to give to organizations that's constantly trying to erase LGBT rights, trans rights, gay marriage, same-sex marriage. You can't. It's damn near. I don't understand how anybody could. You can't call me a friend, and you know that I am a trans woman of color at that, and think that it's okay to just go ahead on and keep eating at Chick-Fil-A and not even knowing that they have rolled back laws against us transgender people, and that's supposed to be okay. And what people fail to realize is if they do it to me and they do it to the people that I help and they do it to my community, what makes you think that your space, the people that's in your space and the people that look like you, talk like you, live like you, aren't next? And that's the thing I don't understand. I really don't. If anybody would like to come on, I would love to hear other people's perspective and logic behind this, because I really do feel like it's a ever growing problem. It's an ever growing situation where we get complacent as advocates and say we're going to do whatever the hell we want to do. And when all of the world is watching, and people in your space watching what you say, people in your space watching what you do, it's like, stand for something and fall for anything at this point. And that's how I feel with this whole entire situation in regards to this post. People, I just I just don't I don't understand. And like I said, it's an individualized choice. If you decide that you would like to continue to eat at Chick-fil-A, by all means, do you. You're not hurting yourself. You're hurting people that they're funding. And that's what I believe that people are missing with this whole type of situation. You're not understanding that when these politicians are asking for monies and these anti-LGBT organizations are asking for monies, Chick-fil-A is at the top of the freaking list, because they already know that Chick-fil-A is going to give them millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. And that's okay. And keep in mind, this is your money. When you go pay $7 for a Chick-fil-A sandwich meal or whatever you get. So we as humanity, we have to be a little bit more aware of what we're doing. Because I was talking to my good friend Donovan, and I was like, I wonder what Martin Luther King say. You know, if he saw how black people have sold each other out. We sold each other out by casting each other out, by putting each other in these systems that we've embedded in our own culture, which is sad. And I just think that I'm asking, hey, Savannah, I can't see your whole thing. I'm asking because there are many organizations that offer similar things. Absolutely, respectfully speaking, may I ask why you're specific? Okay, so that I posted a there was something on, I was scrolling through my Instagram last night or either this morning, and I had saw something that I thought it was terribly it just bothered my spirit a whole lot. And so I was like, I'm gonna put this on Facebook, and I just want to see if people are going to respond or either react from this. And people did. And some people said it was fake news, and which I get because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And then while others understood the logic behind whether it was fake or not, that's why I said earlier, hypothetically speaking, if Chick-fil-A is funding this Christian organization over in Uganda to kill and murder LGBT people, then that's a serious problem. And that's the thing I feel we don't need to forget, that when you are purchasing things from different organizations, such as Chick-fil-A, who gives money to anti-LGBT groups, you know, it's like, do you know the person whose, blood is on your hands? And like I said, and I'll say this, so people won't get their panties in a bunch and try to say all kind of crazy stuff. People, you are entitled to do whatever you want to do, and you can keep doing whatever you want to do, but don't get upset when somebody wants to bring up a conversation about something that you're against. It's just an opinion. It may be factual to me, but it may be invalid to you. And we have to learn to be okay with us being able to agree to disagree and then move on from there. Okay? So I just feel that it's necessary to call out certain organizations. And it's just not Chick-fil-A. There are many other anti-LGBT organizations and businesses out here that can't stand our asses. But we continue to go to these same places and we continue to fund them, not even realizing, like I said before, we're erasing our own selves by putting money and patronizing these businesses. That's why, and let me say this too. While I'm thinking about it. People say support Black owned businesses. I'm here for it all day. I want our culture. I want our culture to be great. I want us to do the best that we can, which we already know we are more than capable of doing, far far more than any and everything. Okay, Donovan, you want to come on now? Okay, I'm gonna add you in a minute. So let me say this. Black owned businesses, you have to owners, whether you're straight, gay, tri, trans, I don't care what you are. If you are a Black person and you want us to come to your business, you need to be a little bit more inclusive. That's all I'm going to say. Because I was looking at something on Instagram the other day, or was it Facebook today? And it said something to the fact of not not going just because you go to a Black owned business doesn't mean you deserve a discount. I'm like, okay, that's all fine and dandy. But if I, as a trans woman, come and patronize your business and I'm trying to purchase something from your business, and I get up to the counter and let's just say I have one of my trans shirts, my advocate shirts or whatever, and you turn me away because I'm trans but I'm Black just like you, but you are constantly saying support Black owned businesses, then what am I here for? It's like you can't ask something of me and then turn me away at the same time. So I think that's where we have to get into as a culture. We have to learn how to love each other, support each other. Thank you, sis. Absolutely. We have to learn how to do that for each other and to each other. That's why when I started my cheesecake business, um, it's inclusive to any and everybody. I don't discriminate against nobody. Because, yes, I'm a Black trans woman and I'm very successful and I have a lot of good things going on for my life. But if somebody that's straight don't want to buy from me, then okay, it's okay. All skin folks ain't kin folks. I like that. So it's like y'all, I can't with society, and I can't with us as Black people. Donovan, I'm finna get ready to add you. I can't with us as society to wrap our minds around this whole situation. I'm trying to add you on, Donovan. So, like I said, and I'll say it again, I keep saying it, the space that I'm in, that I create for my lives, is for people to be able to voice their opinions and say what they want to say. And I tell people, you won't hurt my feelings because it's your opinion.
Opinion.
Valid.
Valid.
Hi.
Hi. Listen, I'm just getting out the shower, girl. I had to jump on here real quick and say hello. How are you?
I'm doing
I'm
well. Do you
doing
have
well. Do you have
headphones?
headphones? No, do I need them?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, hold on 1 second. Now,
Okay.
give me a quick second.
Okay.
Okay.
Sandra, take a break up my mouth.
Right up my mouth.
Like,
Like,
okay. Now
okay,
everybody
now
can
everybody can
go
talk
live.
about live.
I'm sorry,
I'm
y'all.
sorry, y'all. Jonathan is getting
Headphones so we can
headphones
stop
so
the
we can
echo.
stop the echo.
And if you would
And
like
if
to
you would
share
like to
these,
share
please
these,
share
please
these.
share these.
Bring other
Bring other
perspectives
perspectives
inside the room.
inside the room.
And if you would
And if
like
you
to
would
come
like to
on,
come on,
just
just
press the
press
add
the
button.
add button. I
I
usually
usually
do
do
it
it
in order
in what
to
you
what you
wish the way you
the way you. Hello. Hello. Can
Yes.
you hear me better now?
Yes. We have no echo.
Okay, I put in these little AirPods. I had to find them. Listen, I just got out the shower. Things are going
Okay.
crazy, but I had to come and join this broadcast because at the end of the day, I was very, very vocal earlier, so I had to put my money where my
Yes.
mouth is and come back up live on
Come on, money.
camera. I'm a little winded. I'm a little winded. Excuse me. Um, Everybody, give a round of applause to this wonderful, wonderful, beautiful woman who is on here, speaking her truth on a platform. You know what I mean? Keeping things
Oh,
educational, teaching
absolutely.
everybody, touching the world with her words. But okay, let's get straight into this. I love everybody. Let me start by saying that. But I am from New York City, and I have a very Malcolm X approach when it comes to anything black and anything LGBT. Because at the end of the day, if we don't stick up for each other and fight together, I mean, what are we doing?
Who else
You
is
know,
gonna
we
do it?
will we will be overrun. That is the fact. That's why, I literally get sick to my stomach when I hear people say, "Oh, I'm gonna eat me Chick-Fil-A," and I'm making that caricature face because that's what you seem like to me, a
Mm-hmm.
caricature. How can you eat at a place who has publicly shamed you? This is the fact of the matter,
Mm-hmm.
since people want to be so
Right.
technical about things, I don't know about that Uganda article, but this is what I know for a fact. In
Mhm.
2012, Chick-fil-A versus the LGBT began. This is when it all happened. I think it was President-elect Mike Huckabee who
Mhm.
wind up giving Chick-fil-A, I think, a 16 percentile increase in revenue after it had come. Okay, let me backtrack a little. It had come out that Chick-fil-A had been funding multi-millions of dollars into
Right.
anti-LGBT projects and entities. This is the fact. So
Right.
many people
Mhm.
started to boycott. So now listen closely for all of you who are still eating there. When the LGBT started boycotting Chick-fil-A, Mike Huckabee said, you know what? This is a good Christian company who is standing up for their values. So you know what we're going to do? We're all going to go and eat there. They had a 16 percentile increase. Now there's already a multi-million, almost $1 billion company. So can you
Right.
imagine 16% of an increase just because they want more people to eat there now? But you'll stuff your face full of that $7 chicken that's mediocre at best, for what? You know what I mean? What goal are you proving? Oh, I'm hungry. Listen, somebody on the comment said, well, Chick-fil-A ain't never did nothing to me. it's,
Yes,
it's
they
it's
have.
comical
You
to
just
me.
don't know it.
You're just, or but you just don't care because you're so selfish. And if
Mm.
all of those black people at the Montgomery boycott had that same exact mentality, we still be forced to the back of the bus. If all those freedom
Right.
riders had that same mentality, we still be segregated, which was
Absolutely.
55 years ago. 55 years ago. That's my parents' age. Like that's
Wasn't that long
not
ago?
a
That's in our lifetime.
I mean, not it's so close, but people are so small-minded that they forget. So, I mean, really, and it's like Harriet Tubman said, I freed a thousand slaves, but I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew. I could
Right.
talk until I was blue in the face.
Mhm.
It wouldn't make a difference because unfortunately, we're unable to get to people who don't want to be gotten to, you
Right.
know. So I'm really interested in hearing another perspective. Like I want to talk to somebody who is okay with going to Chick-fil-A and just eating there because Chick-fil-A ain't did nothing to them. Like that's who I'm curious to hear from.
Right. I would love to. I would love to hear from those people because I just feel like I said earlier, they started here with us LGBT people. Now, who's to say next thing because they're Bible based? Who's say it won't be something else now? They're going to be trying to find. So I think that we have to be extremely careful. I think we have to be more vigilant now to even understand the purpose behind it. And like I said before, even if this article is BS, the thought that you would still want to go there to an organization and you have blood on your hands of people that you would never meet in a whole different country, a whole different continent at that, you should really second guess yourself. You really should. And then
And
black people, when we go, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, I didn't mean to cut you off. Listen, I got a million things to say. Keep going. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, but I was going to say, and then like I said before, and then we as a culture, black people, we want us to support each other, but you all hold your biblical principles up here versus just allowing a person to come in and just purchase something. Now, like I said, people have the right to do whatever they want to do all day.
Mm.
Please do that because that's your right. However, if you're gonna stand for, you're either gonna stand for something or you're gonna fall for anything. And I think we as a
That's right.
culture, black people, just my opinion, we have sold each other out. especially us LGBT people. We have been sold out by our own people, Black people. We really have, unfortunately.
We do it all the time. It never fails. And even more
Yeah.
problematically is that if the LGBT thing doesn't float your boat, if that is not convincing enough, and I don't know any of the names of the people that I was debating with earlier, but someone even,
Hmm.
I even tried to make the point of they haven't stopped at just the LGBT. It has affected, Black people. The Black Lives Matter topic is a completely different topic, one that I can talk about forever, and it's
Yeah,
something
that's
I'm
way left
extremely
field somewhere.
right. It's something I'm extremely passionate about. But Chick-fil-A once again allowed many of their store locations to rock the Blue Lives Matter shirt and was offering free meals to the cops when Black people were simply protesting not being brutalized by the police force. You know, it's so damaging in so many ways. And the fact that people can't see that or refuse to acknowledge it,
Hmm.
it baffles me.
Yeah, we have to do better. We have to
Let
do
me
better than what we're
Oh,
doing.
I see a lot of my friends on here. Jesus, hey y'all.
Hi.
Now listen, I'm seeing one, two, three. These are a lot of my people on here. Now I know for a fact I see a few names. I don't want to call y'all out, so voluntarily go ahead and comment. Because I know a lot of y'all eat at Chick-fil-A. So I'm dead serious. I know I see a few people on this list now that I know that is religiously eating at Chick-fil-A. So this is a platform where listen, we don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree. But the
Absolutely.
but the fact of the matter is, call it how you see it. If you're bold enough to eat your chicken piece from a company that laughs at you, you know what I mean? Doesn't want you to live your best life. They don't want any happiness for you. They don't care if you're grieving, if you're mourning, if you're sad, you're depressed. They're actually supporting companies that will hinder your progression. If
Right.
you're confident enough to be a part of that, let's go. Say why. Say
Hmm.
why you don't care. Say why you still want you. I would like to offer a broad world view. Oh my God, Savannah girl. I don't know. Listen, let me get off so I can see what Savannah has to say. But Savannah really might not like me after I hear her words because I'm gonna be commenting, But I'm gonna let Savannah get a turn, and I want to hop back on after if I can for a rebuttal. But okay.
Okay. Well, listen. I'll be here. Okay. All right. So let me see. Savannah. I don't see you on my little ad list. Hold on. Antoinette. Oh, here we go. Let me add you, Antoinette. I'm adding you, Antoinette. Oh, okay. She said they declined the live invitation. Okay. All right. So if anybody else would like to come on and give a different perspective, point of view about this, about the conversation, definitely all ears. Definitely would like to hear other people's perspective about it. Like I said, we don't have to agree on this because people gonna do whatever the hell they want to do, but just do it in a respectful way to where nobody's feeling disrespected. So if anybody else would like to come on, just let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Anybody else? Because I know a lot of times we get into these forums and we have these live conversations, and a lot of people don't really know what to say or how to voice what they feel in those moments. So I think we have to make sure we have our thoughts and have everything together, and then there are new thoughts that are constantly running through our minds once we start putting two and two together. I can't with Savannah and Donovan. Y'all a trip. I can't. So, um, is there anybody else? Oh, my grandma just came on. Hey, grandma. Okay, Antoinette, I just tried to add you. Okay, let me try to add you again. It says the guest declined the line. You keep declining it, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Standing up for your basic right to live your life open, freely, and unapologetically without bias is ever, is ever taking a passive approach and not standing up for all injustices and making excuses and giving passes makes one a part of the problem. Simple. Absolutely, absolutely. So, and that's what I was saying earlier. Y'all, I'm sorry, I had to lift my leg up. That's what I was saying earlier. We, we sell each other out, but we still want to patronize certain places, and we still want to do certain things. And like I said, it's not that I'm trying. Well, I don't see Savannah on my I don't see her on here. She has to send an invitation. She has to send an invitation in because I can't see her on my end. Um, but yeah, we have sold each other out. I don't know how to request to be added. Hold on, let me see if I can add you. Your viewers. Hold on, Savannah. Let me see if I can add you this way. Invite. I think that's the right way to do it. Uh, uh. See if that see if that helps, Savannah. I'm not sure. But if not, you may have to go back out, then come back in, and then press uh bring me on camera or something like that, or go back out, come back in, and then I should be able to add you. Okay, Antoinette, I'm gonna try you one more time. I keep approving it, but okay, it says adding. Hey, Dava,
Hey,
what's going on, lady?
nothing much. Now, what is the topic actually about? Because I saw another article of Chick-Fil-A because I called in while he was talking. So,
Okay.
which one are you talking about? The
Okay, so
Chick-Fil-A?
this
Because
is
it's
what we're
another issue.
discussing. So that was like a little snip of this clip about Chick-fil-A funding this Christian organization over in Uganda to kill people that are gay. And so I decided to bring it over to Facebook because I thought that it would be a great way to get a conversation started and also to see where people's consciousness was and also see where their awareness was with this type of specific conversation. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we're grown, we're going to eat there if we want to. And if you choose not to, that's your choice. But
Mm-hmm.
I think what people fail to realize, and I think a lot of people miss the mark when people have said, well, Chick-fil-A's never done anything to me, but you can identify as a LGBTQ plus person and still, and still patronize them and not realize that we are in a time where the administration is actually, you know, rolling back a lot of legislation, a lot of laws that President Obama put in place to protect us and to be able to give us and put us on the right foot so we can keep going. So
Okay.
that's like the gist of
Okay.
it with that type. So I always live for whatever you say because I love it. So I would love to hear.
Okay.
I would love to hear what
What
you got to
what you
say.
have to understand? Okay, I get it that is a awakening for some people because it's just exposing the fact that people with money do crazy things, debauchery on any level.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Oprah Winfrey built that school over there in
Mm-hmm.
Africa. Now
Mm-hmm.
she's from Chicago and she sees the inner city and the way it is. Didn't spend a dime on education and building a school. She went and built that school for those girls. And while she built it, those men came over there and raped them. And
Mm.
she's gonna sit up there and say, well, I didn't know that was going on. You don't know what the hell folks will do when
Right.
they got money.
Hey, George.
Now, now with the Chick-fil-A thing, and when you're doing a movement, whether it's Black Lives Matter, the LGBT movement, and bringing awareness, you don't want to catch everybody because that's how Martin Luther King got killed. That's how
Mm.
Malcolm X got killed. You don't want to catch everybody. You want to catch people that get your message and walk off. That's what Jesus did.
Period.
Period. He didn't sit up here and argue with you. If you got it, that's good. If you didn't, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So but at the same time, when it comes with a right, it's a two-edged sword.
Absolutely.
I have a right not to accept LGBT. Just speaking for these people, I have a right to not accept it. I have a right to not validate what I feel is your delusion. Yeah. I have a right, and you have a right to feel whatever you feel. You have a right to dress up whatever way you want to dress up. Absolutely. You have a right, and it goes both ways. I think it's mutual respect. And with the Chick-fil-A situation, if you feel compelled to not eat there, then do that.
That's your right.
If you feel like, if you want to spread the message, if people don't get it, don't shame them. Don't shame them. Because if you feel like you're right and you feel it in your heart that you're right, your actions and people that will resonate from what you're saying will come with you. Other than that, walk off. Mommy. Because if you're shoving it down people's throat, they're going to feel like it's suspect.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Period.
All day.
So you have to let folks live and let live.
That's true. Very true.
You have to say your message. If you're convicted about it, show your conviction and articulate it and you have to tether your logic to your emotions. You can't not just be emotional.
Absolutely.
You got to tether the logic to the emotions, and you'll get people that way.
Yes.
So that's my talk from that point.
Okay. Well,
it's a tragic, but people with money do crazy things. That billionaire was having a whole sex trafficking going on.
Right. And that doesn't get addressed enough either. So
yeah,
you
have to understand. And this is the thing where I told you this before. Just because understanding does not mean an agreement.
True.
That's not what that means. It means you understand the logic.
That's it.
You understand where they're coming from. You don't have to agree with it. You can understand, but the fact that the person, and I think that's where people get it in a social construct. They feel like if I agree with you, that means that if I understand you, that means I agree with you. No, that don't. That means I understand where you're coming from. I understand your plight. I understand where you got this from.
Right.
Now, do I agree with it? No. I understand why postpartum mothers drown and kill their kids. They're in depression. They're chemically imbalanced. I understand it. That don't mean I agree with it.
Right.
And that's the problem. We try to put our insecurities or our convictions on other people. No, just say what you know and then leave it at there. If they don't get it, if they don't agree with it, that's fine.
Right. So, okay. So
just as long as you understand what I was saying.
So let me ask you this, Antoinette. So, okay. So on the live, on the post earlier today, two good friends of mine, and I love them to death. They know I love them from the bottom of my heart. But they're both gay identified male. They're gay men. And they are like, whatever, Chick-fil-A, I'm still gonna eat there. So this would be my question. And I know one specific says that he's definitely an advocate because he is one. And the other one is a very, very devout Christian. And he stands on the basis of what his perspective of religion is when it comes to Christianity. And I respect everybody. I've never disrespected anybody on my live. And so I just want to know what do you say, or do I take your lesson and just say, we don't have to agree, but at least understand what I'm saying.
If they feel like, they may understand why you are passionate about it. They may understand that why you're compelled not to eat there anymore. But should you throw your whole friendship away because you have a movement? Like, I don't like pig feet, but I'm not about to throw my whole friend away because she don't like pig feet.
Oh no, I would never throw any of my friends away.
Just know with that topic, you're sensitive about it, and if they can respect that, then that's okay. I think it should be a level of happy medium.
Right.
And with this one, somebody wrote, I really don't read the comments when I'm talking, but they said thou should not judge. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says, judge not, yes, ye be judged. That means when you get ready to judge somebody, be ready to be under that same lamp of judgment.
Right, because
you can't judge.
Back.
Yeah, it's human nature. That's our survival instincts to judge. That's how we survive. So God, I'm sure God is not going to take that away from us. That's how we survive. So I think because people say that, and I get it. I get why they say it. I know what they're coming from when they say that.
Right.
And that's what you should tell people. If you going to judge me, are you ready to be judged under the same lamp? If you ain't, then don't come over here. Don't come over here sweeping on my porch.
Right.
Because I see some leaves on yours.
Right. Right. Because like I said,
so,
with Chick-Fil-A endorsing and giving millions of dollars towards anti-LGBT organizations, I think this is just my opinion. I felt that we, as the LGBT community, we failed each other if we continue to support these types of organizations. Now, while they may still support it, like I said, it's just my perspective on it that we failed each other when we continue to patronize Chick-fil-A and then or those other organizations that fund a lot of these types of Christian organizations, and we don't know specifically what these monies are going to. But I will say this, and Lord, if I'm wrong, then I apologize now. But I truly feel in my heart that every time a lot of these anti-LGBT businesses give to these specific types of organizations, that there's blood on a lot of people's hands. There's a lot of blood. A lot.
Yes.
A lot. Unfortunately, but I truly feel that way because we never know when we're donating and we're giving our monies and we're patronizing businesses, we never know where our monies are going because we're not at the table, looking at different things and getting a understanding or even a layout of where monies and things like that is going.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think we do
the only thing I can say on a wide scale of
service.
I think with Chick-fil-A and many others that may what you're talking about going down that Pandora's box of you don't know what they're giving. If they're giving their money to this, just imagine what they're giving their money to.
Right.
With your movement, whatever the movement is, that's just in general. You need to pet your movement, and that's prepare, equip, and teach. That's all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can do with it. And then there's power in numbers, and I get that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But they have to have the same outrage as you.
Yeah.
They just have to have. If they don't have the same outrage as you, then there's no point for them to even be in your fold. Absolutely. So do you want quantity or do you want quality in your fold if you want to make a movement?
Right. And I said this, I don't think he was on, but I kind of said this in the beginning. I said, I wonder what Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera would say if they could see how we have allowed certain types of organizations such as Chick-fil-A to do this. It's like, I wonder what would they do? Would they still have that same type of radical ideology or, radical feeling and emotion to say something and to do something about it? And, like I said, when you're a big organization or company like, Chick-fil-A, of course, a lot of things are definitely, you can't touch certain things, but at least the conversation would have been had, if that makes sense.
Well, then that's being, okay, I'm going to say this. It's being, we're people. And this is why, would you be this outraged and willing to withdraw your money if they were just killing random people?
Yeah.
If they were giving their money and giving, do you think the same people that are outraged because it's LGBT, would they be that same outrage if it was just white kids, or white people, or other different type of group of people, demographic?
Right.
So when you say well, just because it doesn't hit on their plight, well, then you're doing the same thing. It's hitting the LGBT, it hits your nerve.
Right.
And I understand that.
I got
And
you
I don't take
next.
away from it. But the reason, that's anybody. It's so, like, back in the day, I don't know if you have realized this. Back in the day when we was growing up, cancer used to be so far away from you. You know what I'm saying? When we was growing up, you knew a couple people that had cancer. Wasn't a big alarm to you. Now it's everywhere. The list that you cannot get cancer from is the shortest list in the world. And now we have all these movement organizations, all of that, because it's hit a nerve to a point where it causes something has to be done.
Right. It causes
concern. And I think people feel like Ghana is so far away from them. It's not happening here. So I don't see the urgency.
Yeah.
And so you gotta kind of like understand that. I get it.
I can see that logic. I can understand that perspective.
Because let me tell you something, because we are the most just think of stories you've heard of. You've heard parents be like, oh, that faggot over there, or that sister over there, and it turned out their son is a sissy. And they're like, I have so much compassion for the LGBTQ community. And it's like, wait a minute, whoa.
Where was it then?
You said all of this about this person because it's on my front porch. It's on my front porch now.
Yeah.
It's now it needs my immediate attention.
Yeah.
So you have to be, you're being disingenuous when you say, well, the only reason, they're not mad about it, or they're not they don't feel convicted because it's over there. Well, of course. Of course, I get it. But if it resonated with you, just that, then that's okay as well.
Right.
And collect with people that's resonated with you. Like I felt it too. I thought it was wrong too. I understand. And then that's how you build your numbers. You trying to catch folks that ain't even trying to be caught. Cut that out. Just stick with people that mess with you.
Right.
And that's how you get people that infiltrate your fold. When you're trying to collect everybody, you'll have people infiltrating your fold because they never was really a part of the number to begin with. They were just trying to see the thing.
Right. All right.
So I'm gonna get off of here.
Okay, boo. All right. All right, Taviana, I'm adding you next, sis. All right, Antoinette. I always enjoy her perspective when it comes to certain conversations. Hey, sis.
Hey, sugar.
What's
How you
going on,
doing?
girl?
Girl, tired, ready to go home.
Wait. You still at work?
Boots.
Oh, bless your mother. Bless you.
I'm finna go in about a few minutes.
Okay. All right, I'm here for it, sis. Come on, give it to me. I love your perspectives on things.
I don't think you'll love this.
Well, this is the free space. I don't judge anybody. This free space.
True. I mean, it's not about being a judge. It's just like at the end of the day, I agree with with Antoinette.
Yeah.
I agree with her, and I feel like that at the end of the day, you can't make people do what they want to do. I mean, like they don't want to do.
Right.
I feel like in some ways, if we're telling people to stop eating Chick-Fil-A, well, shit. At the end of the day, for the LGBT community, we need to stop being patrons to Black people. Let's be real, especially trans women of color.
I said that earlier. Yep.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, my thing is, and we're gonna go even farther and like be microaggressive about it. At the end of the day, like for some reason, I'm not trying to be shady when I say this, and I'm truly saying this with all due respect. But even like for a lot of trans folk, like we don't get along with gay men. So then what that means, we're not supposed to support them either. My thing is, no matter what we do, I just always hear this thing about who we should be supporting or who we should not be supporting, what we should be doing, and we're following these trends. Like we need to figure out how we need to follow our own lives and do what the hell we want to do. Because just like when we just had this thing with Popeyes versus Chick-Fil-A.
Chick-Fil-A, right.
So what you mean to tell me, girl? Because you think that Popeyes is owned by a Black person, that they don't do the same shit that the Chick-Fil-A do because they owned by white people or Christian white people?
How do you know?
I mean, then that means you need to do your research a little bit better and then realize that, hey, I need to be looking at all the fast food restaurants then, and then maybe I need to cook at home. But then even then, you got to
That's
look
what I
at
do.
when you go buy food from the store. Shit, Walmart might be giving to them as well. So it's like, girl, you gonna just stop all eating it all together. I'm just saying, like, girl, you gonna be hungry?
Right.
Mama not.
Right.
And if that's a true accusation, I'm sympathetic to it. Trust me. But I
Absolutely.
do understand at the same time what Antoinette was speaking to
Mm-hmm.
is that it's not literally like we have 100 billion million things that's going on in our individual lives, and we, with all due respect, we are looking at these. It's not. We're looking at all these things like what really matters to us and what's a priority for us.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes other people's lives are not our priority because at the end of the day, when we're getting killed over here, is Uganda worried about us? Uganda, I
Mm.
say Uganda.
Oh,
Is
wow.
worried about us? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm not trying to sit here and be mean because that's just not my platform. But I
Right.
definitely do tell truths. And at the end of the day, like it's a lot of people who are in different places that we worry about, and they really want to kill our asses. Girl, I mean,
Wow.
look, we still don't know why Osama brought his ass over here. So
Oh,
can somebody tell me that?
I wasn't at the table. I wasn't at the Pentagon during that time.
It's
I was
not
in the
particularly
seventh
you.
grade,
I'm just
honey. I
saying
couldn't tell
people.
you.
And Donovan, it's not about like missing the point. It's about that's your perspective and this is our particular perspective. Like at the end of the day, like Varian has said also, hold on, what'd you say your name was? Queen
Queen
Annette?
Amunet.
Amunette.
Amunet.
Sorry.
Yes.
Amunette.
She was a bad. Oh, yes, God.
Oh, you talking about the girl off of
Yes,
Mommy.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I
Come
sure
on,
did.
Mommy.
Yes,
Come
the money
on.
all day.
Well, not to the moon. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, but everybody has their own particular perspective. They have their own particular way of thinking. And even second, and the most important thing about it all, bitch, you can't tell me what to go buy with my money that I or every damn time I go to work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I just support the same movements that you support, and that's okay. And you're not going to support the same movements that I support, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you can't coerce me to think that your perspective is better than my perspective.
Right. And that's always been my thing. Like Antoinette said, just because you understand and you come into the awareness of it doesn't mean I have to agree with it. And I always say
Mm-hmm.
that in my lives because everybody always comes with different perspectives, which I love. And it doesn't mean that this perspective is right, that perspective is wrong, whatnot. It's not that at all. It's just that we're all individuals and we all have our own different perspectives. Some, while we may agree on a lot of different things, others we may disagree on, and that's still
Mm-hmm.
okay. And
Yeah.
I want people to understand that. That's why I like doing my lives because I don't want people to feel like what somebody else is saying is invalid or doesn't make sense or it's not true or it holds no validity, and that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not true.
Cause like I think y'all had brought up the Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah, Donovan brought that up. Yeah, yeah. Because
I,
that's a whole nother lie.
it is, and
That's
at
a
the end of
whole
the day,
nother
I don't
lie
believe
by
in that,
itself.
and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna believe in it because at the end of the day, it's like, well, you're killing us. So what we gonna do? And it's not about who's right or wrong. And I don't want to like get my message
Right.
wrapped up in like,
Hey,
oh,
Troy.
this and that and third, and placing blame and placing a lot of shame and hurt on a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people. I just, some people just won't agree. And
Mm-hmm.
hell, at the end of the day, I still like Chick-fil-A fries. I'm sorry. You know, read me, get me together,
Get you
read
together.
me, read me.
Well,
Just know you're gonna get read back.
there you go. And you and that's the thing. That's okay. And I can
Mhm.
still, what I'm saying, and we can still hang out, turn up like we always do. That doesn't
Mhm.
mean that I should just cut you off. That's not what that means at
Mhm.
all. That's
Mhm.
not.
Yeah. And if a person did, that's okay, because you know, at the end of the day, I mean, you need to really think about your perspective. If you want people to always think that you're right and that your perspective is supposed to be what they think, or you want people who may challenge you. And like, let's say for instance that, hey, we heard that this um monies given from Chick-fil-A to Uganda was just all a ploy, because we want to just somebody just wanted to keep on taking the story even
I
further for
see you,
them
Donovan. I got you next, honey.
being anti-LGBT. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, then we're gonna go and say, oh, we sorry, Chick-fil-A. But at the end of the day, you also have to think about it too. And I don't want to ever discredit what anybody's saying, because they fired a lot of trans folks, they fired a lot of gay folks, you know. But also at the same time, they hired a lot of trans folks and they hired a lot of gay folks.
Right.
So, like, hell, so we gonna, because we want to raise hell about what they do with their monies. And honestly, and I'm gonna just say it, and it might sound stupid, but oh well, that's just how I feel.
Go
I feel
ahead.
like if that is a thing that's going on, that's more corporate. Like, corporate might be very different from the franchise, even though the monies are coming from the franchise going to the corporate. But franchise workers and people don't know that that money is going to them, and they're doing whatever they're doing with it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna put this place out of business that support a lot of, well, not support, but, well, yeah, because that's what, how people get their monies and their honest earnings is like going to Chick-fil-A and have to work. Hell, you, all of us have been at jobs that we didn't want to do before.
Right.
Be truth be told. But
Right.
at the end of the day, are we gonna stop somebody else's money flow because we got a movement?
And it's not going to stop, because you have people such as Christians that that will continue to go against you know LGBT people because of their biblical teachings and principles. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't be upset with them, because, like, for me, I was a Christian before. I've no longer identified as a Christian. I identify as a omniist. That's who and what I am. I,
Uh-huh.
I'm an omniist. I love God all day long. That's my higher power for me. But I
Okay.
see truth in every religion, just not Christianity. I'm sorry. I tell people I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Donovan, I like your little attitude. You
Oh,
gonna
let
get
me
it
tell you,
too.
You and Donovan, y'all
Oh, he's
actually are alike in a lot of ways
spicy.
with y'all mouths. I'm telling you, y'all are
Oh,
something
he's
else.
spicy. Hi, my name's Tavi, and I likes to read. What's up?
You so silly. Savannah, you want to
Well,
come on? Let me see if I can add Savannah on. Hold on.
I know. I love you,
I
daughter.
love you
Hey, mother.
too.
And bye, sister.
Bye,
You
sis. I love
doing
you.
great.
All right. Let me see. Add. Let me see if I can add you on, Savannah. It says adding. Oh, hopefully you will connect. It says adding. Well, thank you, Tabby, my good sister from another mister. Oh, it says connecting. Come on in the room. Tell the deacon, come on. Hey, Savannah.
Hello.
Hey, boo, girl, where's your face?
I am not camera ready, but I am here for the
Okay, you're
discussion.
not camera ready. Okay, I got you. I got you, sis. I got you. All right, so
Okay.
I am here
I
for
think,
it because I see you've been saying a lot, and I'm here for it.
can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. So the only thing that I want to say is I think that everyone is, of course, entitled to feel how they want to feel. And you are entitled to spend your resources wherever you choose. Additionally, I want to say that while we are attempting to, for lack of a better word, throw Chick-fil-A under the bus, I'm all about educating people. And you're absolutely correct. Chick-fil-A is a huge supporter of anti-gay politics. However, they are not the only ones. Now I'm going
Oh,
to call
absolutely.
out a list of companies. I'm going to call out a list of companies that all of us have done business with and are currently doing business with. And all of these companies have.
Oh, sis. Hold on, sis.
I'm all
Hold on,
about
sis.
educating people. If you're, is the connection okay?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you clear now. I don't know. It was just going in and out.
Okay, I apologize. So again, my only point is that if you choose not to support Chick-fil-A for their anti-gay agenda, then I want people that call themselves activists, because I am not an activist. I just want to be clear about that 100%. I am not. But I want people to have that same stance with this list of other companies that I'm going to read. And this is an article that was printed in on Forbes' website as of, I want to say perhaps June or July of this year.
Okay, go ahead.
So if you are doing business with AT&T, UPS, Comcast, Home Depot, GE, FedEx, Verizon, UBS, which I've never heard of, and Pfizer, then you also have blood on your hands as well. So let's not just paint the picture that Chick-fil-A is the only company that is taking part in this kind of activity, because I know plenty of people, and probably some of your viewers, do business with these companies. We all have cell phones. AT&T is one of the top cell phone carriers. If you have cable in your home, most of us are using AT&T or Comcast. So if you're going to take that stance and say that I'm no longer going to do business with these companies, then I'm going to need you to change your phone carrier, to stop shipping your packages through FedEx and UPS, to disconnect your cable service.
Uh-oh, sis. Oh, your phone keep going out.
And then feel that way consistently across the board. And let's not just, cherry pick Chick-fil-A as being an antagonist, corporate conglomerate, when we have many other companies that do the exact same things. We do not know where our financial resources are going when we support these companies. But yet we still spend our money there every day. I mean, right now I do eat Chick-fil-A. I don't eat there as often as I would like, but right now my internet connection is through AT&T. And, I support AT&T. They, and I'm not going to be blind to the fact to say that, oh, AT&T or these companies have not done anything against me. All I'm saying is that when you take that stance as an advocate, you have to be educated and take that stance consistently across the board. Because if you're going to say, I'm no longer going to eat at Chick-fil-A, but then go home and turn on your TV and you're watching through Comcast, then you are a hypocrite and you lose credibility.
Oh, wow.
And that was the only point that I want to make. Okay. And so for your viewers who are not supportive of Chick-fil-A and are choosing no longer to eat there, I support you 100%. Okay? However, I just want you to be educated, and I'm going to attach a link, because I'm all about receipts, and start disconnecting these services that you continue to support behind the scenes. Don't stop eating the sandwiches, cut off the cable and everything else. Okay.
Oh,
now I don't know how to disconnect, so you can disconnect me.
All right, boo. I love you. Thank you so much.
Love you too, hon.
Okay, boo. All right, Donovan. I'm getting ready to add you back on. Oh, my brother just came on. Hey, Jordan. If you need a singer, y'all better call him. For your weddings, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, y'all better call him. Jordan Javale. All right, Donovan. I know you have a long list of things you would like to say.
hear me? I was connecting for a minute now. There was a lag. I was listening to Savannah's final words, and then I just got an invitation to connect. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I'm sure they could. They can, excuse me.
Okay, well, let me introduce myself once again. It's a lot of new people in the room. I am the Donovan. Feel free to add me if you still like me after my commentary. I am a classically trained concert
Listen,
pianist.
Donovan is a musical genius, y'all. Oh my God. If you have
And
not go
generally,
purchase his album, please go get it.
yes, usually I'm real strict with the Donovan, but my cousin is on the line. I had got out the shower and just ran and jumped on here, and I had to get on because I couldn't miss this topic. So, for anybody that's confused about what we were talking about, Savannah was very, very well spoken, probably the most well spoken that I've heard in rebuttal to what I've been saying, is why we should be boycotting Chick-fil-A, primarily in regards to this whole Uganda incident where they were donating money to this company that was forcing death to LGBT in Uganda. But I have so many notes on this piece of paper that I've been taking while I was listening to everybody, and I have so much to say. Now, let me say this. I will talk about everybody that spoke in reverse order, but there is no disrespect intended. But I will be blatantly honest. So I'm going to start with Savannah. Savannah, like I said, you were the most articulate, and I did enjoy listening to your argument, even though I thought that it was extremely convoluted. The fact of the matter is this, we're not superhumans. So for you to say, oh, well, if you're going to boycott this company, you need to boycott all the companies, that's not really how it works. Now, I will say this, as an activist, because I am an LGBT activist and a Black activist because I am gay and I am Black, so to say that you're not an activist for your community is quite silly to me, for lack of better words, but that's your right. You don't have to do anything for your people. But it's sad that you don't. With that being said, it's about taking a stand, whatever stand you are taking. So we all know at this point that Chick-fil-A is a major contributor to organizations that will continue to keep us down. So forget everything else. Let's focus for 1 minute on a common goal so we can succeed at something. This is where the major problem comes in our community. We have people that say, oh, well, if we not go fight all of them, then we can't fight any. Pick one. I don't know where y'all from, but like I said earlier, I'm from New York City. You know what I mean? And when we were growing up in high school, in elementary school, middle school, we were fighting and acting all crazy. You know what I mean? My grandma used to say, and this is so ratchet, but she said, listen, you can't fight them all. You can't fight them
Right.
all, but you get one of them, you know what I mean, and make them regret it.
Right.
So it's kind of like that. No, we can't go after every single company. Some of them are monopolies. I can't say, oh, I'm never going to mail anything ever again because UPS or USPS, does something, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Yes, it
Right.
should explain a lot. But, the point is, don't convolute the message. It's okay for us to stick to something. Now, I just want to talk about Antoinette 1 second. Antoinette, no disrespect, but I feel like you were all over the place in everything that you said. I don't really think that you had a common ground on anything. But one thing I want to say to you, and I swear to God, I do not want to insult you, so please don't take it that way. But you appear to be a Black woman, and I noticed you had a child. I think that was your son. It is so crazy. You said something. You said, it doesn't matter what people are doing over there. You do what you do and let them do what they do. That's something I would never want to teach any human that is coming up under me because it is so problematic for several reasons. If we don't stand up for something, even if it doesn't affect us. You know how many people, I met my best friend on the school bus. He was getting bullied. People were calling him terrible derogatory gay slurs. Didn't have a thing to do with me, but that was my brother. That could have easily been me. And I had the mouth of Almighty, so I used it for somebody else's good. And we've been best friends ever since. We have to stick together. It's not about, oh, mind your business. Listen, I'm so glad my ancestors didn't mind their business, because 465 years of slavery is a long time. And I wouldn't have wanted to ever live a day in those shoes. And it's a shame we had to live 465 days in those shoes then, So that's a problem. That's exactly what you said, though, Antoinette. And you said a lot of things that were really Okay, so Rebecca is asking, the Donovan, is your position on Chick-fil-A just because of the money they are giving to Uganda, or their stance on homosexuality, or a combination of the two? We don't know for a fact that this Uganda thing is true. We do know for a fact that Chick-fil-A has given money to anti-LGBT organizations, and they've done a number of things. So my stance is, in general, to stop supporting Chick-fil-A, especially if you're Black and or LGBT. There's no reason you should ever go there when they have publicly denounced everything that you are. They don't like you. They've been vocal about not liking you, and they're okay with not liking you. Stop eating there. Antoinette, you also said something that was a little shocking to me. You said, oh, well, I don't have to understand it to, I can understand something that I don't agree with. Yeah, and you said, women in postpartum depression, they drown their babies. I don't agree, but I understand it. We don't agree, because I don't agree. I don't see how you can understand something like that. What I understand is that postpartum is real and that a person should seek help. But does that mean I think it's okay for you to drown and kill your baby? That's not okay. That's something that's so severe. You know what I mean? That really that's mental illness. You know what I mean? And I think that that's totally different from what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? I wish people who have illnesses that make them mentally unstable seek help. You know what I mean? But that has nothing to do with the people that we support or don't support. Oh gosh, she said, all right, I'm out of here. I know that's a really sensitive topic, but I had to say something about that because it's shocking. When people, yeah, she said, yeah, did you miss that part? She said that she understands how women can kill their babies suffering from postpartum depression. I understand how that happens, but I can't get behind that in any way, shape, size, or form.
Well,
You know
maybe
what I
we
mean?
can bring her on to kind of clarify that. Maybe that's not what she meant. So maybe we can bring her
Maybe
back on
that's not what she
later
meant.
and maybe kind of clarify.
Right. Because she was really,
Yeah.
she said a lot of things.
She said I didn't understand. Okay.
Well, what you said was, I understand it, but I don't agree with it. But okay, cool. You also mentioned Oprah, and I don't want to talk about Oprah too much, but the fact of the matter is that's another thing we have to stop doing. You're going to talk about Oprah? She's the only Black female millionaire, and she's one of the only Black millionaires that does anything for people in our community. Let me tell you the facts, because I'm a huge Oprah fan. Number one, she sends 500 Black men, and we're not even talking about women and other entities. She sends 500 Black men a year full tuition through school. Show me any of your other faves that are doing that, because they're not. No, but nobody cares. She built that school in Africa because she understood that nobody cares about the motherland. You know what I mean? Unless it's a publicity stunt, they're gonna take water to a country. Nobody's doing anything for Africa. She knew if she created something to give these girls education, that it will provide a life for them that no one could ever take away. And we still try to tear her down for that. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You really think that she knew that those girls were getting raped? The school was very new. Something terrible did happen, and she did the best that she could to rectify the situation, but she's one person and she's trying to make a difference, something that a lot of people should be doing, but instead we're talking about her in a negative way. Oprah is a billionaire. She's very, very rich, and she does a lot to help a lot of people with her money. Okay, and moving on to Tavi, I think, was her name Tavi?
Well, yeah, that's my sister Taviana. Yeah, her name on here is Nia Ebony, but her name is Taviana, so we call her Tavi.
Tavi, I love you too. I love everybody. I'm just speaking from my perspective and my opinion. Tavi, you also said a lot of things that I thought were absolutely crazy. You said that, if it wasn't, if we weren't killing people, or if they weren't killing people in Uganda, would we really care? Because they don't care about us. It's that logic that baffles me. Why is that even something, you know, if anybody is dying, that's something that's going to tug at my heartstrings if it's at a mass level. If anybody is being murdered, if anybody is, I'm going to say, hey, this is not right. We got to put a stop to this. How is this happening? How are we allowing this to happen? I'm not talking about people in a negative way that eat Chick-fil-A. People who are anti-LGBT, people who are anti-Black Lives Matter, eat there freely, because that's your company. My argument is that if a company is not for you, don't be for them. And we support major companies like Chick-fil-A, and I'm speaking about Chick-fil-A specifically because they've been the most egregious in their public actions. You
And
can say what you want about
vocal.
that,
Yeah.
and vocal. You can say what you want about that long list of names, but AT&T, they have pride flags every year around pride time on their advertisement. They're reaching out for that LGBT dollar. They're saying that they want it. They're saying that they're accepting of it. Home Depot too. I see pins and all that jazz, at a lot of different places, but that's not the point. The point is, Chick-fil-A, you will never see a LGBT flag floating on their Chick-fil-A banner. If Chick-fil-A ever came out and said, you know what, we've heard a lot the past few years about LGBT, we want to make it right.
My sister Barbie just made a valid point, which you brought up earlier. Chick-fil-A is also pro-blue, like you said, and anti-Black Lives Matter, which they are.
Yeah, I talked about that when I first came on, and then you also said, Tavi, that, oh, well, if you're not going to eat at Chick-fil-A, then you shouldn't eat at the grocery store. You shouldn't eat at there because you don't know where that money is going. I mean, again, that's the same type of rhetoric that keeps us down. It doesn't matter. If you don't know, you don't know. I can't control something that I don't know. It's foolish to even use that as logic. But what we do know is that Chick-fil-A should be the last place on the menu. And there's so many options. We just don't care about anybody but ourselves. I said all that to say this in closing. Whether you agree with what I'm saying or not, the fact of the matter is this. If you listen to everybody is so selfish in the sense that they're saying, mind your business. If it doesn't affect you, let people do what they're doing. All I'm saying is that's not how movements succeed. Sometimes you have to say, what, you know what, it doesn't affect me, but I'm still gonna take a stand. It was white people who took a stand and let Harriet Tubman come in their home while she was on the Underground Railroad. They getting free labor. They got slaves. Whoopee! We got people picking out cotton, picking out tobacco. We happy. But somebody stood up and said, you know what, this is not right. I'm going to help them get to freedom. I'm going to take a stand. They risked their lives for something that didn't have a thing to do with them. It would have never affected them, and they would have reaped benefits. They would have even gained from keeping Black people as slaves, but they didn't care. They wanted to do the right thing. So it's not about anything but doing the right thing and sticking up, being on the front line for what you believe in. All right, y'all. I love you. The Donovan, add me. Take a listen to my music. I'm an amazing pianist. I love you guys. Bye. Thank
Bye,
you, Z,
Donovan.
for
Thank
letting me
you.
on.
Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate it. Woo, okay. Let me see. Tommy, I saw you wanted to come back up. Okay. All right, Tavi, I'm getting ready to add you. And then Antoinette, I'm adding you after her. Okay, okay, she declined. Okay, Antoinette, I'm getting ready to add you.
Hi.
Okay, hey lady.
Hey.
Oh, that's
Let me clear up some things.
okay. Hold on real
I
quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Tavi, I'm gonna add you back on after Antoinette is done. Okay, go ahead, Will.
silence this so it won't. Okay, let me clear up some things.
Okay.
I never said I agree with postpartum depression, people killing their kids. What I'm saying is I can understand the mental state they were in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't agree with their actions. They still should be accountable. You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is when you get to a point where you disagree, you should always want to understand a person leaving a discussion, leaving a debate, leaving, that don't mean some people will reject the understanding because they feel like they got to agree with them.
Mm-hmm.
When you can just understand where they're coming from. Now, me saying I never said the whole thing about what did he say I said? I didn't say that I didn't forget, but I don't agree with what Chick-fil-A is doing, if that's true. I don't agree with
Mm-hmm.
it at all. I
Absolutely.
was just speaking on the perspective of, and me being all over the place, I was just speaking on different facets of people that got a lot of money. You don't be surprised what they're willing to do. That's why I threw
Absolutely.
up Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be surprised by it. Now, picking a stance, like he said. Now, maybe what I was saying was, I agree with you picking a stance. What I'm saying is mess with people that are convicted and that are agreeing with your movement.
Right.
And
Right.
don't bog down your time with people, gathering people. That's what I mean by gathering people for the movement to get it. Get the people that got it and move.
And move with
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm not saying we shouldn't stick together. We shouldn't do this. What I'm saying is if it could be your sister that's the LGBT, if she don't get it, move on. Because you're on a mission. You're
Right.
trying to convey, we're on the mission. I need people that got it. Well, if she don't get it, move on.
On to the next one.
On to the
And
next.
it's no
Harriet
harm and it's
Tubman, the
no
reason why
foul.
he said, when Harriet Tubman said that quote, or when she said that she could have saved a whole lot more, is because she was on a mission. And if you didn't get it, I can't save you if you don't get it.
Right. She had to keep going.
And that's what I'm not boiling down the outrage. I'm not boiling down. What I'm giving is different perspectives